I don't think hell exists. I happen to believe in life after death, but I don't think it's got a thing to do with reward and punishment. Religion is always in the control business. And that's something people don't really understand. It's in the guilt-producing control business. And if you have heaven as a place where you're rewarded for your goodness and hell as a place where you're punished for your evil, then you sort of have control of the population. And so they create this fiery place, which has quite literally scared the hell out of a lot of people throughout Christian history. Mm-hmm. And it's part of a control tactic.
But wait a minute, you're saying that hell, the idea of a place under the earth or somewhere where you're tormented for an eternity, is actually an invention of the church.
I think the church fired its furnaces hotter than anybody else. But I think there's a sense in most religious life of reward and punishment in some form. The church doesn't like for people to grow up, because you can't control grown-ups. That's why we talk about being born again. When you're born again, you're still a child. The people don't need to be born again. They need to grow up. They need to accept their responsibility for themselves and the world.
What do you make of the theology, which is quite prominent these days in America, which is that there is one guaranteed way not to go to hell, and that is to accept Jesus as your personal Savior?
Yeah, I grew up in that tradition. Every church I know claims that we are the true church. They have some ultimate authority. We have the infallible Pope. We have the inerrant Bible. The idea that the truth of God can be bound in any human system, by any human creed, by any human book, is almost beyond imagination for me. I mean, God is not a Christian. God is not a Jew or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist. All of those are human systems.
Pi Sigma, and this was 660 and 6. Now, we have to realize that in the modern Greek alphabet, these letters are a little bit different. The Chi is represented by a straight X. The Xi is represented by something that is just 3 dashes coming down. And then the Sigma looks somewhat like a cross between a Z and an E. So here we have G, Zeus, in the ancient way that the Greeks would have pronounced this. And we also have to realize that in these ancient alphabets they did not use vowels. So without the vowel, that says Jesus or God is Zeus as well.
It 12, hey crazy homo Reggie Bible code, you haven't escaped Antichrist, small punch, dirty bomb SARS. Wait a second, extra saying never mind, right?
Everything you around over, your whole planet. This is a game. All of this is for you. You're not investigating that fuel. You're a fucking rat in a maze.
While the emergency meeting of the General Synod has yet to confirm or deny whether they consider last night's event to be a miracle or not.
You're causing great offence to people of my faith. How many faiths worldwide?
Then I could understand if he suddenly appeared in the Middle East, in Israel or Palestine. But in the north of England?
Meanwhile, the suicide rate across the United States has rocketed overnight, with over 300 suicides reported across 40 states.
On today's show, men who think they're God.
This is the man whose face has been broadcast across the world. A Salford man with no qualifications, Mr. Baxter was formerly employed at the Easy Rent video store.
Thought about you and Ocelot and school and all that, Pete.
Fiona, your dad. The existence of God has destroyed us, so it stops because I say so.
They have possessed you. You're doing exactly what they want.
They want you alive. This is your only way out.
Oh, yeah, right, so what? I bugger off and abandon the world to the devils.
It's the death of them as well. Not those lost souls, but the thing inside them. All God's work. And when you die, you're not ascending to paradise, you're dying properly and forever, taking the whole thing with you. God and heaven and hell, all dead. The end of this world and the start of a new one without religion on our backs.
And what sort of world would that be?
Better. Because right now we're promised an afterlife, so we waste the 70 years we've got. If God is dead, though, and this is all we've got, maybe we'll use it. Maybe we'll become better than you.
Or worse. Did you think of that?
Well, maybe, but that's up to us, not you. It's daft, because this is what I always thought long before you came along. Soon as we get rid of God, that's when we grow up. And then you said it too. It was in your big speech. It was there all along. You said we've got to take responsibility, and if you really want us to do that, then we've got to do it on our own.
Oh,
I'm right.
The Third Testament. The family business closes down. No more heaven, no more hell.
It was all on tape. The police had the house keys, wired the place up, recorded everything. Steve made his broadcast in the end, and it was transmitted worldwide. They keep on playing it now, all these years later. Everyone saw it and everyone heard it. That was the testament, and that was Judgment Day. The death of God. Yeah, sometimes it looks like nothing because we can't turn to a book anymore, or a church, or some man in a dog collar. We've got to look at each other.
A lot of things are going to occur, and also they're monitoring us, trying to help us. So we have some chance to wake up. That's the ground crew people.
So they're sending us messages through crop circles? Or?
Yeah, through crop circles, and through the handbook. The handbook was written by extraterrestrials, totally written by them. In order to, they said they'll give us information, they're not going to do it for us. There's nobody come down and save us. We're going to have to save ourselves.
Yeah, there is no savior.
Yeah.
The savior is man himself.
That's right. The victimhood. You know what Christ said? What I do, you can do and greater. He also said, what you sow, you shall reap. Didn't he say that?
Correct.
He said, where's the temple of God located? Within. That's back to you.
Once he came, they killed him. He will.
They didn't kill him.
I mean, they tried him.
You know, that's another one of the lies. They crucified him up there, but a lot of people got crucified and didn't die.
What the hell? How do you like it?
Out of interest, is Silicon Heaven the same place as human heaven?
Human heaven? Goodness me. Humans don't go to heaven. Oh, no. Someone just made that up to prevent you from all going nuts.
Where your race has lived since the beginning of the universe? Ah! So, how did the universe begin? Then the meaning of existence, so every religion is wrong.
And I've decided I'm going to get all of us into a great mood. How? The expansion to our game is coming out. The Spires of Dragonor. New continent, new powers, most importantly, new character hairstyles. I'm hoping it will help heal some of the wounds in the guild. Make us focus on what matters. It's about the game, not each other. Dumb humans.